Our initiative policy will be ready to go into operation. This policy will provide the framework for continuous production, processing and logistics in horticulture. It allows perishable goods like pineapples, mangoes, chilies and herbs to move swiftly from the field to ports to international shelves, minimizing losses and maximizing value. And I'm pleased to inform you that the Ministry of Trade and Agribusiness and Industry and the Ministry of Transport are working together with the Ghana Revenue Authority, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, the Ghana Shippers Council, and other stakeholders to soon declare the Tema and Takoradi ports as 24-hour ports. It will not only be about working longer hours, it will be about building the infrastructure, the energy, the security, the transport, and the digital platforms that enable round-the-clock agro-industrial activity.
Oh yes, let me write. Please, I'm coming.
You want to take it?
Oh, if you give me white.
No. So come on Friday, okay?
All right.
Series of stages. These are some of the one stage. So after every day, we get this 1 ounce as a byproduct, and it's rich for formulation of animal feeds.
Animal feed dollars per kg, per ton.
Yeah. 4,000, 18% water. 9% fiber. So,
this one. And the ton is 1,000 kg. $4,000 per ton. $4 per kg.
central pillar of our nation's future. This expo is anchored on a theme that speaks not only to where we are, but where we are going. Innovate, transform, sustain, driving growth in Ghana's horticulture sector. This theme reflects our national agenda, aligns with continental trade goals and reaffirms our commitment to sustainable development goals. But more importantly, this theme is a call to action to all stakeholders to move beyond potential and into purposeful action. Ladies and gentlemen, at FEDG, our mandate has never wavered to advocate for to advance the interests of our Ghanaian exporters. Over the years, we have led missions, hosted forums, established platforms, and partnered with global institutions to lift Ghana's agri-export visibility. The export is a fruit of that labor. The first edition in 2024 was a seed sown in Ghana's green economy. We are not just here to sell fruit and vegetables. We are here to build futures. Ghana sits on an agroecological gold mine, fertile soils, diverse microclimates, abundant rainfall, and over 60% of our labor force engaged in agriculture. Yet, the average yield per hectare of mangoes, pineapples, coconut vegetables, and herbs remain below benchmarks. Post-harvest losses still account for over 30% of produce due to poor infrastructure and fragmented value chains. Global horticulture and market value of $320 billion plus by 2030 is crying out for premium, traceable, ethically sourced tropical products from Ghana. We must ask ourselves, why not Ghana and why not now? And that is why this year Horticulture Expo practical tools for transformation, from drip irrigation system to solar-powered cold storage, from blockchain traceability to financing models for youth agribusiness-led. These are just innovations. These are just not innovations, they are necessities. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, one of our most forward-looking economic propositions of our time is a 24-hour economy. And I say this with deep conviction. If there is any sector primed to benefit from this policy, it is horticulture. Imagine a Ghana where irrigation pumps hum through the night, nurturing crops while we sleep. Agro-processing plants run second and third shifts, turning fresh produce into juices and dried fruits for export. Refrigerating trucks move goods from farm gates to port terminals at 2 a.m., beating traffic and preserving freshness. Cargo terminals and inspection decks operate round the clock, facilitating seamless exports. Digital platforms enable real-time trade across time zones, matching Ghanaian produce with buyers across the globe. This is not a fantasy, His Excellency. It is a vision within reach. If we are bold enough to coordinate policy, energy access, security, labor strategies, and technology, a 24-hour agribusiness economy will not only increase output, it will decongest operations, create high-quality jobs, and radically enhance our competitiveness on the global stage. We at FEDG are ready to work with government, banks, unions, logistics players, and tech innovators to pilot, model, and scale this transition from the soil to the shelf 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Ladies and gentlemen, when the nation city depreciates, it is not just the currency problem, it is productivity problem. It is a trade imbalance whose solution is not to print more money, but to export more value. That is why this expo and the larger after vision must become our collective response. And after and through strategic bridges to Asia, the Middle East, and the Western world, we must position Ghana as a premium origin for high-value horticulture exports. But beyond figures and forecasts, allow me to bring this closer to you, His Excellency. The expo is for the woman farmer in Breku, who prays for better roads to move her watermelons. It is for the young graduate in Pube, who dreams not of leaving his town by exporting shea butter to Germany. It is for the entrepreneur in Fatima, who wants a solar dry tomato but lacks capital. It is for 18-year-old girl in Keta who wants to be a horticulturist, not because she has land, but because she has vision. His Excellency the President, we also wish to commend your bold intervention in taking steps to revamp Bupe Share North Processing Factory, a movement that gives renewed hope to thousands of women across the 5 northern regions. According to GEPA, Share is now Ghana's 10th highest foreign exchange earner, and we are proud to say that the biggest Share North Processing Factory in West Africa, not for growth, is right here in Ghana in Tamale. And it's already exporting 23,000 metric tons of high-grade shea butter to Sweden annually. This is a shining example of how agro-industrialization, when backed by vision and investment, transforms not just exports, but entire communities. It is a blueprint we must replicate across our horticultural zones. When we talk of innovation, transformation, and sustainability, we are not just shaping policies. We are shaping lives. We are shaping lives, and we are shaping legacies. And to every farmer and processor, the youth advocate and innovator in this room, you are the heartbeat of this expo. As I conclude, let's leave this expo not with only brochures and business cards, but with resolve. Let us live with shared understanding that this moment must birth a movement to turn Ghana's growing potential into golden opportunity, a movement to grow not just crops, but capacity, to harvest not just produce, but prosperity. Let's plan with purpose, let's process with pride, let's export with excellence. Let's build a 24-hour economy where no idea sleeps, no produce rots, and no dreams is left behind. For the banks, may this expo remind you that banking shouldn't be about clutching overpriced collateral just like a trophy, or asking for one's great-grandfather's funeral certificate before approving a loan. It is time to move beyond the vault mentality. Banking must be about vision, growing with businesses, nurturing the seed, and walking the journey. After all, Rome wasn't built in a day. It took bricks, dreams, patience, and a bit of divine grace. So let's bank on ideas, not assets. His Excellency, we want to take this opportunity to thank the Chief of Staff for keeping faith with us by working behind the scene to promote exports through the Director of Presidential Initiative in Agriculture and Exim Bank. And also want to thank Mr. Sylvester Mensah, the CEO of Exim, for redefining export finance. To the CEO of GEPA, we thank you for bringing hope into the exports business with your dynamic strategic approach to unlocking Ghana's export potential. Finally, we should sincerely thank His Excellency for graciously responding to our request by facilitating a meeting with the Chief Executives of GEPA and Exim Bank. We are happy to announce that the first intervention out of the 8th value chain, which is being worked on through the Chief of Staff's Office in collaboration with the Presidential Initiatives in Agriculture. The rest will follow soon, His Excellency, and we are assuring you of our 5 billion returns in the next 2 years.
Honorable members, distinguished guests, the horticultural sector holds immense promise, and as a driver of economic diversification, job creation, and foreign exchange earnings, Your Excellency, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority is collaborating with the Federation of Association of Ghanaian Exporters and other stakeholders to roll out the Youth in Export program, targeting mainly the youth in communities across the country, thereby reducing streetism in the Ghanaian economy. Yet, this potential can only be fully realized through strategic partnerships between government, the private sector, research institutions, and development partners. I am pleased to note that several partnerships will be formalized during this expo, making a new era in the sector's growth. Mr. Chairman, I take this opportunity to express my heartfelt appreciation to His Excellency the President for making time out of his busy schedule to join us this morning. I also thank our various ministers, collaborators, and indeed our stakeholders for their support and interest in the Horti Expo 2025. It is my expectation that exhibitors and all the key stakeholders herein gathered will take full advantage of this 3-day event to maximize the benefits for all. Thank you for your kind attention.